An e-commerce boss, after losing it, shouted, "The sky is falling for e-commerce. These returns are more than what I've sold." An e-commerce boss, who has spent 3 months preparing for this year's Double 11, shouted in despair after the event ended. This Double 11, not a single order came through. I feel like this is the worst Double 11 in history. Not a single sale. Why am I even sitting here? I'm done. Just smash everything. Then several employees standing beneath the daily explosive order sign on the wall grabbed a display screen and smashed it onto the floor. This year's Double 11 has arrived. November 11th has historically been the biggest e-commerce sale in China. Many big sales started a month prior leading up to this day. Here, this female host lay on a pile of return packages stacked like a small mountain. As she swung her legs, she casually scrolled through her phone while someone beside her reminded her, "Hey sis, it's time. Why aren't you live yet?" The host pointed at the return package and said,
"This situation, selling it only for it to be returned. What am I supposed to broadcast now? I'm not doing it anymore. Look at this."
An employee dragged in a large bag of packages and the host joked,
"Here comes the work. Here comes the work. Come on, dump it here. See? This mini returns every day."
According to statistics, this year's Double 11 sales amounted to approximately 49 billion yuan, just 1/10 of the figure from 5 years ago, marking it the worst performance in 17 years. November 11th is China's most intensive online platform promotion day, commonly known as the Double 11 Shopping Festival. 5 years ago, Double 11 sales reached a historic peak. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tmall's Double 11 Global Shopping Festival has reached a total transaction volume of 498.2 billion. This is a whole new number. This is a logistics situation during the 2020 Double 11. Packages piled up like mountains, stretching as far as the eye could see, with sorting workers crowded around the conveyor belts. Now, take a look at this year's scene. The conveyor belts are nearly empty, and there are hardly any sorting workers to be seen. Occasionally, a few stray packages are tossed onto the belts. However, despite the significant drop in sales, the volume of returns this year has surged dramatically compared to previous years. Many e-commerce sellers lamented,
"We can't keep going like this. We sold 30,000 orders, but 28,000 were returned. It's killing us. How are we supposed to keep this up?"
An e-commerce seller pointed at the mountain of returned packages and said, "Look at this. This is the return rate for one e-commerce store. Over 10,000 returns a day. Is this the end of e-commerce, just returns? We sell it, and it gets returned right away. What we sold yesterday gets returned today. And it's not just 1 or 2 items being returned, it's piles of them. This torn up cardboard sells for 0.4 yuan per pound, and we can make $100 a day just selling the cardboard. If we're making $100 just from cardboard, imagine how much product is being returned." An e-commerce seller in the clothing business said,
The return rate for clothing is just terrifying. These are all returns from one day. They've all been sent back. It's just unbelievable. Yesterday, someone told me their return rate in the clothing industry reached 95%. Think about it. Out of 100 items sold, 95 get returned. How does that feel? Let me ask you, with the clothing industry being so competitive, buying and returning, do you even need to buy anymore? Do you even need to be a seller in this business? Why keep fighting it in the clothing industry? Sell 100 items, have 95 returned. Shipping costs alone aren't even covered.
A user with many years of experience in e-commerce also mentioned that this might be the last year, as they can no longer continue. "I've been in the Taobao business for over 10 years, and it feels like it's about to come to an end. After all these years in e-commerce, I still haven't made much money, but I'm still holding on. There can't be many people like me anymore, mainly because the environment for e-commerce has become so tough. The return rate is extremely high, and there are a lot of malicious refunds too." A high-end cashmere sweater seller completely broke down after receiving a return.
My goodness, I've repeatedly told them, don't machine wash the cashmere sweater, don't machine wash it. And they still did, shrinking it into a child's size. And then they return it to me. Isn't that just ruining the clothes? Then I received the package. I refused it. The platform, without determining responsibility, immediately refunded the money to the buyer. It really pissed me off.
Another e-commerce seller who specializes in women's clothing also said they can no longer continue. He mentioned that today's young women aren't buying clothes, they're just playing the freebie game. Brothers, now in e-commerce, with such a high return rate, it's impossible to keep going. How are you supposed to do it? You work hard to sell 10 pieces of clothing, and they return 8. How are you supposed to make it work? Everyone says e-commerce is hard to calculate, and how could it not be? The sales numbers look high, the order volume looks high, but once you do the math, you're losing money. Where is it going, brothers? All going to customer service. Take women's fashion, for example. The return rate is ridiculously high. Do you know how these young girls buy clothes now? They buy everything. They don't care which brand or style. They just buy a bunch to try on. They buy 20 or 30 pieces, and if they keep one, that's already good. The rest, they return. So brothers, it's over. Just switch to being a courier. In recent years, dishonest consumers in China have repeatedly abused the e-commerce platform's 7-day no-reason return policy to exploit merchants, inflicting considerable difficulties on sellers. To prevent trouble, merchants have introduced various new safeguards against freeware, such as affixing giant tags and password locks to apparel. These steps have once again drawn widespread attention and become a trending topic on social media. Many merchants acknowledge that such measures stem from soaring return rates that have grown increasingly extreme, employing physical barriers to curb malicious returns. A clothing seller based in Beijing shared on social media that, to stop customers from misusing the platform's policy for wear and return practices, they have reluctantly added a password lock to the zippers of their garments. The seller said, "If a customer wears the clothing with a lock, most people would feel embarrassed. The password lock on the zipper doesn't affect trying on the clothes. Once the customer confirms receipt, they can be given the password to unlock." The seller also noted that last year, customers returned worn clothing, resulting in thousands of yuan in losses. This year, the problem persisted, with returned items carrying the scent of laundry detergent. In reality, exploiting platform policies to manipulate the system and inflict major losses on merchants has grown commonplace. In late April this year, more than 60 students from a vocational school in Shenyang bought clothing online together. After attending a sports event, they returned the items, claiming quality problems, which cost the store owner at least 8,000 yuan. Ms. Li, a clothing e-commerce merchant from Guangzhou, informed the media, "Last year, during Double 11, we prepared 5 million yuan in inventory, yet returns totaled nearly 4 million yuan. Shipping expenses alone approached a loss of 120,000 yuan. Numerous returned garments showed clear signs of use, rendering them unsellable and causing a direct loss exceeding 800,000 yuan. Unfortunately, the merchants' tactics seem to have had little effect. In addition to the clothing tag on the skirt of the stylish woman at the start of the video, more consumers eager for a bargain are taking matters into their own hands to counter the merchants' new policies. Let's take a look at how these bold customers are achieving the freeware look. A user commented that she casually walked down the street with a tag still hanging from her clothes, completely indifferent to the attention of others. It looks like another merchant is about to face trouble. This person was a bit more low-key and discreet. However, anyone who has worked in clothing e-commerce would likely have some serious psychological scars after seeing this. Some users suggested that merchants should make the tags even bigger, so that wearing them would be even more uncomfortable, hoping that this would help curb such behavior. The answer is disappointing. Some buyers have already crossed the line.
这个社会为了对付那些没素质的人
In order to deal with those who lack manners, every industry is really paying a huge price. Look at how the clothing sellers are being pushed to the brink now. To prevent some people from buying clothes, wearing them for a few days, and then returning them without a reason, the tags on clothes have gone from being this big to this big. Now they're as big as an A4 sheet of paper. But there are still people who shamelessly wear them, then return them. The 7-day no-reason return policy was originally meant to protect consumers' rights, but now it's being used to get a free trial, trampling on the rules, and making a fool of the sellers. That's not being smart, it's being bad.
现在这些人都是心灵扭曲了。
People these days, their minds are really twisted. The anti-theft tags are still on the clothes, and they still have the nerve to wear it out. They are dirty as hell. You can't even wash it off, and there's even blood stains inside. How can people be like this?
A seller of women's lingerie completely broke down and said,
那我真是忍不了了，这个什么？
Oh my god, I really can't take it anymore. This is Ah Fang from Quanzhou, Fujian. She washed the lingerie and returned it to me while it was still wet. It wasn't even dry. That is so disgusting. I just can't believe it.
Another seller completely broke down, saying they're about to learn from the buyer's strange tricks.
于某英，你是我见过最奇葩的买家了。来这个
Yun Moying, you are the weirdest buyer I've ever seen. This is from Changsha, Hunan. You cut off our tags, then use a lighter to melt it and attach it to your own clothes. How are you so clever? I'm almost going to learn from you. Then you sent your own clothes back. Probably ones you've worn for years, but we don't even sell this kind of clothes. How are you so smart returning your own clothes to us? I just can't understand how someone can be so inconsiderate. And there are so many clothes that have been worn dirty like this, then returned with no tags. Let me show you all the clothes in our warehouse. The tags are always facing up. If there's no tag, we can't buy it. How are we supposed to pack it and send it to you if we can't even see the size chart? And here's another pile. Clothes that have been worn, tags missing, and then returned with the excuse that it was like that when they received it. I'm asking everyone to please check the clothes when they arrive. There's no way we would ever send clothes out without tags, okay? And there are plenty of cases where people wear clothes for half a month or a month and then return them, saying they are loose threads or quality issues. I'm asking everyone to check the clothes when you get them. If there's any quality issue, just return them without wearing them, alright? Don't wear them for a month or two, get them dirty and yellowed and smell like laundry detergent, then demand a full refund without even returning the clothes.
Besides the clothing industry, there's also a girl selling fruit who cried about her experience.
还碰到一个白嫖的人，
I ran into someone looking to get things for free. They ordered a batch of sour sweet grapes, and after receiving them, they said they were too sour. Then they requested a full refund. I said, well, if you don't like them, can you return the grapes to me? That's how returns and refunds work. But they refused to return them. Then the platform automatically refunded them. Those sour sweet grapes, when they are listed, clearly said they had a bit of sourness to them. Everyone has different tastes. If you can't handle sour, then you shouldn't have ordered them in the first place. But that doesn't mean you get a full refund. If you don't want them, just send them back. Now you're trying to get free food. And on top of that, you want me to give you all your money back? How can there be such a deal? If you said you didn't have money and wanted something for free, I would give you a whole box. But now I'm really mad. If the item was broken or bad, I could compensate you. But now this situation, it's really making me lose my temper.
A user noted that the ongoing economic downturn has led to more low-quality buyers and unreliable merchants, fostering a cycle of deception and hostile interactions between the two sides. Consequently, the overall market environment continues to deteriorate. Before this year's Double 11 shopping event, many consumers placed items in their carts early, aiming to purchase them at a reduced price during the promotion. Yet on the actual sale date, certain products ended up costing more than the regular amount. Mr. Zhang, a shopper from Shanghai, explained that he added a razor head to his cart on October 27th to track its pricing. 4 days later, the identical product jumped from 260 yuan to more than 590 yuan, over twice the original amount. Only 2 minutes after that, upon refreshing the page, the price fell back to about 280 yuan. Ms. Mai, a shopper from Hangzhou, shared with the reporters, "The item I had added to my cart earlier rose in price when I tried to check out. After reaching out to customer service, she was informed that this is a standard business practice." Numerous consumers expressed frustration on social media, stating, "Prices fluctuate daily. Right as I'm ready to order, they increase. Merchants hike prices just before the event, and although discounts and coupons appear abundant, the final cost remains higher than normal. This year's Double 11 appears attractive, but it feels deceptive." This year's Double 11 featured platforms employing strategies such as low prices, price cuts, free gifts, and coupons, accompanied by intricate and constantly shifting rules. The requirements for applying various vouchers and discounts often left consumers confused. Adding to shoppers' irritation, some valuable coupons were either unusable or came with impractical conditions. Ms. Wu, a resident of Shanghai, recounted that she encountered a promotion in a flagship baby product store, promising buy 5 sets, save 525 yuan, yet the discount failed to apply at checkout. Customer service responded that the promotion remains under review, leaving the coupon unavailable. Numerous users have noted that many coupons carry stringent requirements, and certain products are ineligible for discounts altogether. Additional consumers have voiced complaints on social media declaring, coupons cannot be stacked and their applicability is restricted. Purchasing anything resembles tackling a complex equation. The pricing mechanisms are overly complicated. A substantial number of participants have conveyed wariness, stating, shopping now involves endless obstacles. After years of engaging in Double 11, I'm thoroughly drained. One person online gave their take on this year's Double 11.
They
should just cancel Double 11 already. Today is the 17th Double 11, and honestly, I don't feel anything. The buyers and sellers are both too lazy to bother, and the platform's over it too. This should be the last one. Let it end, and that's fine. This year's Double 11 shopping festival in China extended over a month, yet it failed to spark consumer excitement. Chinese media portrayed the event as quietly transforming, much like a receding tide, while experts describe the market sentiment and sales as lackluster. The former festive mood surrounding platform sales figures has vanished. Reports show that this year's Double 11 avoided the intricate discount structures that previously demanded pen and paper calculations, clearly signaling a cooling consumer market. In previous years, social media overflowed with posts celebrating shopping triumphs, but such content was absent this time. Community pickup stations saw no long lines for packages, and promotional text messages were scarce. Some users remarked that they genuinely sensed the downturn this year. This person finally saw through the true state of Chinese society and the future of the working class, saying things they would never have dared to say before.
Have you noticed? When humans realized that animal meat was nutritious, animals almost went extinct because of us. Now that humans know the value of human organs or how they can generate profit, we might be approaching the time when humans start eating each other.
As for the cows and horses, in this current environment, just surviving is enough. And that goes for you calves too, just surviving is enough. Don't expect your cows and horses to have any future, seriously. Watch out for your own calves. Otherwise, your organs might end up being eaten, every last bit of it. A growing number of users have observed that the intensifying conflict between buyers and sellers arises from a broader erosion of personal integrity. They maintain that no new regulations or policies can truly resolve the issue. This moral decline is blamed on a predatory social environment, but questions remain about how society reached this point and who bears responsibility. Mainland Chinese netizens have avoided naming it outright, yet the answer is evident to all.